This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 30, verse 20, and it reads, Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Wakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be likened to the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Ayasha Barazal with the Indianapolis camp of the Great Millstone, coming back at you with another quick lesson with the intent of edifying the elect body of the nation of Israel. All right, I got this video coming up here. Man, I swear this world is waxing worse and worse about this woman with two husbands. All right, so let me get the fair use notice first. Give a few seconds for that to be displayed. And we get right to the video.
This is Carl, my husband of 26 years, and this is Tiger, my husband of 10 years. Look at this. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Carl and I are entrepreneurs. We run several companies online, and we've written several books together.
For a living, I'm an investor. I sit around and look at numbers and charts and watch stock market all day.
Every lady should have two husbands. I'm legally married to Carl for the past 26 years. We have 3 kids together. When we decided that we wanted to have this multiple relationship structure in our marriage, we went straight to our kids and talked to them about it. We told them exactly what it was, exactly what it was not, and we always kept the door open for them to ask questions, share their thoughts, opinions, feelings, and we always supported them.
All right. Get a different task. But did you see the legs under there?
I have other tasks. In the 12th year of our marriage, Carl and I decided that I was going to have multiple partners because I had met and fallen for another guy. So I came back and reported that to Carl.
So we decided to talk about it. Like, what do we do? How do we go about this? And that began a 2-year journey of Kenya and I just kind of discussing things. We just had to figure things out. So we discussed it for a number of years. I finally came into the knowledge and understanding about feminine, expression, and realized you have to allow women to be free and express themselves. And as a man, I need to support her in doing that.
I met Tiger at a Halloween party. He was dressed as Tiger Woods, and he was looking hot and sexy.
Well, I came out and had a dance with you, so we had a nice little romantic, slow dance. It was real nice.
Yes.
And so I decided, I'm going to pursue this. I'm going to see where this leads to.
Right. So those just go right up there, and then the green painting goes in the center.
All right.
I'm super multifaceted. It feels like Carl fits one part of who I am, philosophical and spiritual, and we have these deep conversations. And then the other part is like thrill-seeking, excitement, traveling, and that's who Tiger fits. But I'm both of those people in one body, so I like to have those multiple partnerships.
Is it one nail for each painting?
It's probably going to be 2. Let's do the big painting first.
We're all basically trailblazers in this way, and we all support each other. And that's why I'm so ready to support Tiger and Kenya whenever they need support in their relationship or anything else.
I think a lot of what people see on a day-to-day is kind of like the whys. Why would anybody do that? Why would that man invite you into his house and have you with his wife? Why? It's a benefit to have another person there. It's a benefit to have somebody that you can kind of relate to, that you can trust, versus just having some random person come in.
Or
cheating, just
lying, hiding, sneaking.
Yeah, it really adds a lot of serenity to the home.
A lot of guys that I meet are, I always start out by telling guys that I meet, I already am in 2 long-term marriages.
How do they react to that?
Most react well. Oh, I'm dating because I'll always be dating. It's just fun. What can I say? It's hard to explain this because it feels like It's not rocket science. We all love attention, energy, relationships, and love. But the relationships that I'm looking for are sort of, they are less time consuming than our relationship. They're more about going out, grabbing a drink, going dancing, having some fun.
Okay.
It's going to take a lot more to get over the jealousy of having a person that's coming in that may become a sexual partner with you. They come in and they wow with gifts and jewels and all that. That's okay. I can match that. But if somebody comes in and they absolutely steal your heart, I can't match that. I can't come back in and steal it back from them.
Never am I looking to replace you, babe.
Man, well, I'll say this right away. That first husband, Carl, is just a damn simp. Plain and simple. That's all to it. You know, Plain and simple. He is what you call a simp. And and just analyzing both of them in this video, you know, I wouldn't put it past them that both of them are packing each other's fudge, if you understand what I'm saying. All right, but man, this is the book of Romans, chapter 7, and again in verse 2. And it reads, For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as she liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband. All right. Carl is alive and well, as you saw, the guy with the dreads, the first husband. All right. Verse 3. So then if, while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. And it's exactly what she is, an adulteress. All right. But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man. Well, she's got two men in the same house. All right. And there's a law against that. But first, let me explain this real quick. Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 1. And it reads, They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again unto me. So what this is saying here, this is an analogy for the actual man and wife compared to the nation of Israel being the wife of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, and our fornication or idolatry, had us cast away. All right. But like the Lord says, he will not cast away his people. But in the terms of the literal man and wife, that man is is not supposed to. She's not supposed to return to him once he puts her away, for that defiles him. All right, and I'm gonna get to that in the law. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, and verse 1. And that dude, he just said, man, simp is an understatement for that guy. He just, somebody's in the same house doing your wife, man. That you're not a man. That's not something that men do. And I'll get into that towards the end here. Getting into that law, following up on Jeremiah 3 and 1. And it reads, When a man hath taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he hath found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand and send her out of his house. The moment she started dealing with that other guy, Carl was supposed to give her a divorce, the second husband. The first husband was once he realized she was dealing with that guy, he was supposed to give her a bill of divorce. Okay, That didn't happen. Verse 2. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. Okay? Departed out of his house. They're still in the same house. That shit is just whacked. I don't I can't understand that one. I don't care what people say. That is not a characteristic of a man to know that another man is porking his wife. Throwing that rod down. All right. Verse 3. And if the latter husband hate her, and write her a bill of divorcement, and give it in her hand, and sendeth her out of his house, or if the latter husband die, which took her to be his wife, her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife. After that she is defiled, for that is an abomination before the Lord, and thou shalt not cause the land to sin, which Yahweh thy power giveth thee for an inheritance. So that woman is defiled, and she's defiled both of those men, because now, first of all, he took her back, which the law strictly prohibits. Okay, strictly prohibits. Okay, and she's an adulteress. She's supposed, both of them, all of them, are supposed to drop dead right on the spot according to the law. Okay, but of course we know that Israel is under the grace period right now, but they have to repent for that. That's some foul stuff. All right, real foul. And again, I will say again that first husband, Carl, he's a male, but he's not a man. That is not how a man is supposed to react when another man is entering his wife. Okay, let me get that in the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, beginning in verse 26. All right. And reads, For by means of a whorish woman is brought to a piece of bread. So slack. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, the poverty, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. Man, messing up. And then verse 27. Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned? Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burned? So he that goeth into his neighbor's wife, whosoever toucheth her, shall not be innocent. So that second guy is not innocent. Okay, we already proved the first guy is not innocent because he's dealing with his wife. You know, all right, in that state with another man in the house. All right, verse 30. Men do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. Verse 31. But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold, and he shall give all the substance of his house. So yeah, I mean, there's a recompense for when you to do something like that. It says, but whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. And here we know that, the wages of adultery is death. It's punishable by death. All right? And this is really how this guy should be, the first husband, Carl, should be reacting. It says, a wound, verse 33, Proverbs 6, verse 33, a wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. So yeah, messing with another man's wife, you gonna, one way or the other, you gonna get fucked up. At least you should, you know. And his reproach should not be wiped away. He's never gonna forget it. All right. Verse 34. For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore, he will not spare in the day of vengeance. And those two sitting there talking about they're going to slowly but surely overcome the jealousy. So it exists, but he's not responding to it. You know that jealousy is there. They said that, but then man, I mean, gee whiz, sitting there looking like that. All right. Just simple as hell. Verse 35. It said, therefore he will not spare any day of vengeance. So a jealous man, is not going to have any mercy on you when it's time to pay you back for messing with his wife. All right. He's not going to have any mercy on you. And verse 35, and it reads, he will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest, though thou givest many gifts. So no matter what you say, what you do, it's not going to turn away that husband's wrath. All right. It's not going to turn away. He's going to deal. He's going to deal with you, or at least he's supposed to. But in this day and age, you got these simple men, man. That's just, dude. You just foul, man. You just foul. She's a whore. And then let me get this right here. We already know that she's a whore in the house with the way she's an adulteress. According to the scriptures, whore, adulteress. That's how it is. All right. Um, this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 19, and it reads, ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. Neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon thee. All right, I'm going to pay attention to that second part. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. All right, keep that in mind right there. All right, thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. In Jeremiah 3:1. Okay. It says, shall not that land be greatly polluted? Okay. Only men have seed. Okay. So you got two different seeds going into that woman. Now here again, that was the comparison in Jeremiah 3:1. The woman is compared to the land. Which a field is land. Is that simple? It's not that hard to figure out. A field is land. All right. But you have these two men putting their seed in her at the same time, which, we know that, science is proven to us. Well, that's a husband. Number one, the scriptures say that's a husband for the rest of her life. And, the scientific way of proving that, you can go into her, years after he's gone, dead, and remnants of him will still be inside of her. Okay. But because of death, she is free from that law, according to Romans 7:1 and 2. All right. So you got those two guys mixing their bodily fluids together, which, in a roundabout way, makes those two sodomites. And I got to tell you, them two sitting there looking at them, I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if they're packing each other's fudge. All right. Let me get this last one. This should cover both of them. Um, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 17. And it reads, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. Okay. And we know the penalty for both of those is death. All right. And yeah, she is definitely a whore, an adulteress, and, like I said, those two mixing fluids amongst each other in the same field, like I said, you should not mingle seed in the field. That's against the law. They may as well be sodomites as well. All right. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying for the body. Once again, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth that belong to the speckled bird. To you, I say Shalom, Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.